Hey guys, welcome back to the Danger Planet. I'm Brandon.
I'm Adam.
And today I'm going to be talking to Adam about his journey through his first year of wargaming.
It was so wonderful.
Wild. So, Adam,
Yes, Brandon.
tell us, who are you, where you come from, who are your people?
So I'm Adam. I'm here with Team Danger Planet. I work on a lot of video production, pretty much. It's my
Yeah.
main focus.
All right, so how did you get into tabletop gaming? Where'd you start?
So my first idea of like getting into tabletop, I didn't have any massive exposure because I didn't really know anybody that was really into the tabletop stuff. But I had picked up this wonderful game called Vermintide 2.
Yeah.
Produced by Games Workshop under the Warhammer Fantasy license.
Sure, absolutely.
And I really enjoyed the aesthetic of that game. I specifically like playing the dwarf guy a lot, playing the tanky version of him, and just pushing enemies aside. It was super fun. But I kind of was more interested in Warhammer because my friends always talked about a bunch of lore to the game, and I was always curious, so I kept diving, kept looking through like videos on YouTube. And then I found out there were two different versions of Warhammer, which was Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40K.
I see.
And I'm a very big sci-fi fan. I love Alien. Also a pretty big fan of Predator. Metroid is my favorite game series.
Yep.
So 40K kind of felt a little bit better of an idea from like considering if I was going to try that kind of stuff.
Sure.
I started to find out a little bit about the lore through what was it? Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device. That series I got introduced through Bricky08, who also made videos talking about all the different factions of Warhammer 40K.
I see.
So I had a very easily digestible intake to kind of give me an idea of the lore. And I always heard repeatedly everywhere I was looking online, if I was curious about this stuff, people always said, don't pick based on what the game is about at the moment, pick based on lore.
Yeah.
And I will stand by that advice.
Absolutely. So where did you land in the 40K world?
I landed on Adeptus Mechanicus.
Wild.
Praise the Omnisire.
Of course.
And I was warned by Bricky that it was one of the more expensive factions to start.
Yep.
It was very expensive.
And this was before their 9th edition codex, right?
Correct. Yes.
Gotcha.
So I came in relatively early, I think, in 9th edition because Space Marines still had their 9th edition stuff, and some other factions did. I think Necrons. Oh yeah, they came in very early.
They launched with Space Marines and Necrons.
But still, so like a lot of factions hadn't had their 9th edition rules like we have now. Like almost half of the Imperium has their 9th ed rules, which is crazy.
AdMech was the 4th book.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, they were
Fifth book, somewhere around there.
super early. But I had learned 8th rules. And again, like I said, I never was in wargaming. Like this was my first toes go in the water, right? And it was a lot to digest. There was so many things I had to learn, and I thought I was really good at tactical decisions in like card games and board games. And no, like wargaming is such a different field, and it was mind blowing to me to try and make that transfer. And I like right before the 9th ed rules of AdMech had dropped, I felt very comfortable with what I understood the army was going to do, and the 9th ed rules changed everything.
So, Adam, did taking a new approach to AdMech and sort of dealing with a completely redesigned codex lead to anywhere that you didn't expect?
It did. So in trying to process and understand the new rule set and how to bring different units to the table at different point values and what was important and what was not important to help me get to game plans and how to formulate game plans. I kind of took a little bit of a pause because I was trying to figure that stuff out. And then at my local game store, Battlegrounds Games and Hobbies, they brought out, or a couple of people brought back a game that they had put away for a while called Malifaux.
Wild.
And it opened up an interesting opportunity to me to try something new that was a little bit smaller scale. And had a little bit different kind of offering in terms of aesthetics and how the game worked.
Yep.
And that interested me. And I was like, okay, maybe I can use it as a chance to like clear my mind and reapproach this in a different light.
Yeah. And I think it's really important to sort of give a shout out to taking a break from the games that you play and looking for like a palate cleanser, you know, if that's trying a new war game, maybe playing some board games, just to sort of keep it fresh, you know, so you're not beating the same horse.
Yeah, no, that's super relevant. And that genuinely has allowed me to stay on this path of playing the war games. Because I found out...
Yeah, burnout's real.
It's so bad. Oh, man. Even with Malifaux and with 40K, I have that problem sometimes when I have like a massive horde of new models I have to paint because I started, you know, a new add-on to my 40K faction.
Don't we all?
Right? Or a new master in Malifaux is another good example. And specifically, one thing that like I also was very big into before I even started wargaming, I'm a huge fan of Kingdom Death Monster.
Right.
I found out about that game before version 1.5 even existed, and I had always wanted to pick up a copy. And something wonderful that happened with Malifaux being a thing that was introduced, especially because, you know, the prices are very different compared to 40K.
Yep.
I had a bunch of free cash and I was able to score a copy before the Kickstarter finally closed.
Wild.
So, yeah, that was great.
But I mean, even though Kingdom Death is like a boss rush board game, I mean,
Yeah.
it's made by a miniatures company.
Yes.
It is a miniatures game. It's about as close as you can get to a tabletop strategy game.
Yeah,
in
like
board game form.
Like everything
You have
I
to
learned.
build and assemble all the kits. It's
Yes.
it's literally
yeah.
a tabletop
It may
game.
as well be in this exact hobby because it still has like the high quality resin models. It still has extremely well detailed models, and honestly, I feel comfortable trying to approach painting them because of how many hours I put in with all my stuff with Malifaux, with 40K.
So painting, that's a thing that we haven't talked about yet. So painting brings up a good topic that we haven't really talked about yet.
That's true.
Had you painted miniatures before this? Is this your first experience? Was 40K? No. Wild.
Yeah.
So your very first experience to building miniature kits, painting,
Yes.
priming, the
Yep.
whole thing.
Yeah, no, this was my whole first 10 yards.
Wild.
I always thought of myself as someone who is very by the numbers and not artistic. I have a whole line in my family from my father's side and mother's side of engineers and
Yeah.
like designers and people that like you would think are not like artistic. And no, you have to be creative and have that kind of energy to do that. And I found out very quickly, I not only really enjoyed the assembly and the painting portion,
Yeah.
but I don't know why exactly I had this drive, but I had this specific drive that when I decided I wanted to do this, I wanted to prepare my models and paint them to the best of my ability with whatever resources I could get without getting help as much as I could avoid, and have them be fielded on the table and have someone who had played the hobby for years look at them and ask, did you paint those? Those are really good.
Yeah.
And fun fact, the first time I played someone was against Jacob,
Yep.
and Jacob said those exact words to me, and I can't tell you how happy I was.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I remember when we first started playing in combat patrols at Saugus, I was really surprised seeing your army because you fielded in 500 points a fully painted army.
Yep.
Which is something that some gamers haven't ever done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I did it all on my own too.
And, just looking at that drive, like, I mean, do you think that that's a common thing for somebody who's new to wargaming to experience?
No, it definitely isn't.
Yeah.
It's a very specific to me thing, and to me, it's elevated to a point where I want to start practicing and learning the techniques that'll enable me to go to competitions and learn how to paint, because that side I've really picked up on.
So do you think then that painting and building and that stuff is for everyone?
No, it's definitely not for everyone, just like how the hobby is not for everyone.
Sure.
But it is something that if you really want to enjoy this hobby, unless you have extra cash to pay someone to do that work for you, you do have to at least learn how to do it and feel comfortable with it.
Yeah. And to be honest, I mean, maybe this isn't your perspective. I don't think that that's an insurmountable hill. I think that that's pretty manageable. But
Yeah.
So, Adam,
Yes, Brandon.
painting, playing, hobbying, building, what's your favorite?
So I'm someone that suffers from ADHD.
Yeah.
And weirdly, the thing that I find the most comforting and easy to go back to, and that I can like pick up and pause, which is something I've always struggled with for years, is the painting aspect.
The painting.
And
Okay.
I feel that it really is part of that drive that I have to like get those higher levels of painting, to be in competitions.
Yeah.
And it's also an amazing creative outlet that feels really simple. And I had always taken art classes in school because they always threw them at me. But some of the things I learned, I like kind of passively kept in my head. And some of the basics of art are pretty easy to find online too if you really aren't sure how to like advance your paint game.
Absolutely.
And I would say building and painting are my favorite parts of the hobby overall.
Plus, I mean, there's like tons of YouTube channels.
So
Squidmar,
many.
Miniac, Ninja,
Midwinter Minis.
Midwinter Minis.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Black Magic Craft.
Black Magic
So
Craft.
many things.
Yep, that is true.
Where you can find awesome painting tips, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Danger Planet. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
That is true. We
coming-
do.
coming soon,
Supposedly,
TM.
we may have something relating to commission painting tips.
So if that's your sort of favorite area of the hobby, painting, is there anything that maybe if you could go back and do again, you would? Is there anything you want to change about your hobby experience in your first year?
That's a tough one because I do love AdMech. I still love Adeptus Mechanics. They are still hands down like
Where's the army side?
right. Exactly. I feel maybe some small changes.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of starting on Warhammer 40K, maybe starting on something a little bit simpler scale with
Sure.
lower model count, different price tag.
So like Necromunda or maybe like a smaller like Warcry, something like that, or
Maybe. Well, so there's a couple of games that have been popping up at the shop that I'm kind of interested in.
Oh.
Some friends recently picked up Arena Rex.
Arena
and
Rex.
that looks kind of interesting, especially because they're resin models, so they're really nice, high quality.
Sure.
And I saw some of the price tags, and it's really entry level free.
Yeah.
And then Malifaux also was a wonderful starting point. I'm
Yep.
very happy with that. And you know, obviously Warhammer is good.
Yeah.
I do wish I had told myself, hey, don't like just kind of randomly pick, maybe put some thought into it. The difficulty with that is, you know, I have the multiple different codex changes.
Of course.
So it's hard to put retrospect in that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think as somebody who's been working in the tabletop space for more than a decade now, my advice has always been to somebody looking to get into wargaming that you should look at the game that you like the aesthetic, pick the army that you think looks cool. And I mean, do you agree with that? Do you think that that's the most important
That is
thing?
extremely sound.
Yeah.
That is extremely sound. I mean, off that note, I guess I would probably tell myself, pick up Knights.
System calibration complete. Eliminating cells.
So, final thoughts, Adam. What are your three?
So probably would say it's pretty important to make sure that you don't just jump in on the first thing you find when it comes to war games.
So don't go all in.
No,
right?
do not just go complete full blown in.
Right. You know, I think Corner Case, which is another great channel on YouTube, literally just posted a video. You know,
he did?
How your first game system is holding you back.
Oh,
and I think
that's a good way
I think
to
that
say
that
it.
speaks volumes to this because it's great to just sort of toe in and get your feet wet, but you know, you really want to sort of have broaden your horizons, right? Wargaming is a very vast hobby.
There's so many games that
so
I found
much.
out after the fact.
Yeah,
and I
and
wish I had heard about some
yeah.
of them because I might have just jumped in one of those instead of Warhammer.
Right. And massive shout out to Corner Case. We'll actually link his channel in Discord. You should definitely check this guy
Yeah,
out.
definitely,
Super
for
awesome.
sure. That sounds like a great thing.
Okay, so number one, you know, check out other game systems.
Yep.
Don't go all in on one.
Yes.
Get a little bit, you know, but check it out.
exactly.
So what's number two?
Number two, I'd say, and this is very crucial to make sure you, A, don't burn out, and B, you still want to keep playing this hobby.
Yep.
Find a community.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, you know what I heard is a great community?
Oh, which one?
Our community that we have on the Discord server.
Wild.
We have several different ones for all the different war games, in addition to trading card games and board games that we play.
Absolutely.
So if you are looking for a community and you really don't know where to start, please join the link down below for our Discord. We'll happily help you out.
Absolutely.
In any way that we know.
And, you know, go and check out your local game stores. You know, those are the people that let us play the games that we love and enjoy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
without them, we wouldn't have them.
Correct. I actually got all my stuff through my local game store, specifically Battleground Games and Hobbies.
Wild. Okay, so find a community. And what's your final takeaway?
Choose what you like, not what is good for the game.
Yeah. I think that, you know, war games in general are very cyclical, right? They evolve and change, and that's important. You know, you wouldn't want to just play the same Warhammer Fantasy 8th edition because Warhammer Fantasy Battles 8th edition is the best thing, and this is a weird rant to go on, but like for real.
To be fair, I also have heard things about Warhammer 40k
Battles.
previous edition.
For sure.
Because the end of that meta was just the same list, if I'm not mistaken, right?
And, you know, change is important in everything.
Absolutely.
You know? And the thing that is going to be consistent through edition to edition or update or errata to errata is you're going to have these toy soldiers and you're going to have to be the one to play with them.
Yeah, they are your precious babies that you should take care of with love and so much care.
Absolutely.
Because if you do, you can have them for you only know how long.
Yeah. All right, guys. It's been great talking to Adam about his first year in wargaming, and I'm pumped to see where you go, you know, in the future.
I'm hoping we go good places, and I'm hoping to stick with Danger Planet for it. Ooh. So if you also want to stick with Danger Planet, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell so whenever we upload new videos, you'll be able to see them first thing in the morning.
Yeah, we do all kinds of tabletop gaming content, board games, card games, and of course, miniatures and hobbies.
Of course.
Yeah, so keep an eye on the Danger Planet.
All right, appreciate you guys.
Okay, this is a take. I hate it. So, Adam,
Yes, Brandon.
who are you? Where do you come from? Who are your people?
So I'm Adam. I'm here with Team Danger Planet. I bonked the table. I want to redo that.
That's fine.
For first year in wargaming for... Did you just smell the microphone?
No.
All right, so guys...
So,
Give me the chainsword.
wild.
I love mechs.